Space. An endless vacuum that expands past Earth forever. Time. A man-made process designed for human nature to know what fucking time it is. YouTube. A social media site designed for video sharing. You may wonder how these things all connect. Well, what the bloody hell?
This is one step back for man, one giant fucking leap backwards for YouTube.
Onision, it's time to play, yay! Onision, it's time to play!
Good evening, viewers. Falseface YT here.
Falseface YT.
Falseface YouTube here. Future. And for the few of you that may be wondering where the hell I've been for the past couple of months, the answer is very simple. I've been turning my fucking YouTube setup into a time machine, of course. You're probably wondering what I'm going to do with such technology. And I'm going to take you guys with me on a dark place here on YouTube, someplace you should never go alone. That's right, I'm talking about Onision, aka Greg. Well, who's Greg? Greg is a YouTube personality who makes comedy sketches, topic discussion videos, and gaming videos. Wow, he's a jack of all trades. Who could ever hate this guy? Well, in order to answer that, we have to ask ourselves, well, why do people like him at all? Greg is looked at as very honest. He even goes on to call himself the most honest YouTuber.
Right, that I'm one of the most honest YouTubers you will ever encounter, just like I've been telling you this whole time.
Red flag there. If you have to call yourself the most honest YouTuber, and it's not coined by your audience, there's already a problem right there. He is often looked at as somebody who isn't going to hide anything from his viewers, someone who is willing to step in front of the camera and apologize when called out on bullshit, and he's also looked at as somebody who's willing to just sit in front of that camera and deliver those cold-hearted facts that nobody wants to hear. What a savage. What a saint. Well, trust me guys, it's all bullshit. Let's take a look at Greg's channels. Greg's main channel, Onision, sits just above 2 million subscribers. This is the channel that hosts all of his comedy sketches. Yeah, I know the sub count is jarring, but trust me guys, he does not get big boy views anymore. Now don't get me wrong, his views are impressive for the average human being, but he's taken a decline over the past few years. And any avid viewer of Onision knows this. I mean, it's one of those things that he constantly bitches and complains about, and of course, blaming anybody but himself. Moving on. There's Onision Speaks, where he uploads his serious opinion videos. Onision Games, self-explanatory. And then there's Uh-oh, Bro. What the fuck is that name? Did you think of it when you thought you got your girlfriend pregnant? There's Onision Reacts, self-explanatory. Onision Archive, Onision Encore. Okay. For starters, why the fuck do you have so many channels? These easily could be condensed down to 3 channels. Comedy sketches, discussion videos, and gaming. And you even admit that Uh-oh Bro is just a silly version of Onision Speaks. And why not just upload your reaction videos onto the Onision Speaks channel? You wonder why your view count is low and your subs aren't growing? Well, here's my first piece of advice to you. Don't have so many fucking channels. This practice is only going to spread your subscriber count thin. Your viewers are going to wonder, should I subscribe to this channel or channel number 5? Should I subscribe to channel number 2 or channel number 67? Sometimes it doesn't even appear as if you give a fuck where you upload your videos anyway. This is a silly video. Why isn't it on Uh-Oh Bro? Why is it on Onision Speaks? This looks like a comedy sketch. Why is it on Onision Speaks? Oh, well, here's Greg reacting to a video. This is on Onision Reacts, right?
Nope.
Do you throw darts or roll dice to decide where you're going to upload your videos? I have only listed your channels, and already you have shown zero stability. Now, before we use the time machine and we head back into time, let's take a look at some of Greg's most recent videos.
Well, shit. It's another fucking emo guy. I promise I'll do a video on somebody normal next time. I don't want to get branded as the emo whisperer or anything like that. Look at these titles.
I need motivation to live. I want to be understood. I'm bad.
Hey. Hi. This is,
Why does it look and sound like he's in a dark cave?
building up.
Shut the fuck up, dude. We gotta get out of this cave.
I've talked a lot about November 14th, 2000. So,
Here we go
what's the point of so many people are consumed with selfishness, their own. And here's the thing with, taking your existence away from this earth. You know one thing for sure. It's over. There's no more of this nonsense.
Well, we've only scratched the surface of this Onision guy, and we've already had quite a bit to say. This is going to be a long video, so take that cigarette break, crack open that beer, sit down, relax, and enjoy the show, because now I'm going to take you guys on a journey through time so we can take a look at each individual scandal that Greg was involved with, and hopefully answer some of the questions that we've all wondered from early in the video. Let's start with the very beginning. This is the year that nightmares begin. Every YouTuber has at least one video that everybody has seen, and in 2009, Onision's claim to fame was born. And dear Lord, is it vexatious.
Guys! I'm a banana! I'm a banana! Look at me, man! Yeah. I'm a banana! I'm a banana!
I know I can't say much about a video that was uploaded like nearly 10 years ago, but let's return to the question that I asked early in the video. Why do people dislike Onision? Well, it's a bad sign if your most famous video is the most fucking annoying thing imaginable. The video is 2 minutes of the most infamous YouTuber saying the same phrase over and over again. In 2011, Greg was under the impression that his girlfriend at the time had sepsis, and it turned out the entire time that the crazy bitch was faking it.
Results came up that concluded she had sepsis, or has sepsis.
There's a number of ways that this situation could have played out behind the cameras. Either Greg was stupid enough to believe the girl's terrible acting, and was even dumb enough to continue to shove a camera in her face and upload it on YouTube for nearly 1 million to see.
You said you want to make a rainbow?
Yeah.
I love you.
I want to make a rainbow.
Or both of them faked the sepsis together. And in my opinion, I think both situations that are possible here are equally as scummy. Well, did the world's most honest YouTuber apologize about this? Not really. He uploaded a video called I'm Sorry, and the only thing he was sorry about was believing the girl's terrible acting.
I believe that Shiloh was telling the truth when she said she had sepsis. And now that I have called her out on the Onision Speaks channel asking her why she's humiliated me, and she will be leaving me high and dry, with my thumb up my ass, trying to explain why I told you all that she had sepsis, when in fact apparently she doesn't.
So he pretty much tried to shift all the blame away from himself and onto that crazy bitch. So what can we learn about this, everyone? That it's completely okay to shove a camera in the face of somebody who has a life-threatening condition, right? It just appears to me at this point that Greg is just putting too much of his personal life here on YouTube. Going forward, let's hope that he changes and stops doing this. In 2012, Greg Onision would give advice to his fans via video on YouTube. One fan decided to ask Greg about an abusive parent that they were dealing with, and of course, Greg had the most comforting words for this fan.
Hi Onision, how can I cope with a verbally and emotionally abusive mother? I'm 17, I've been hospitalized twice because of suicidal thoughts, depression caused by the words my mother would say to me. First of all, I don't think you can really blame your suicidal thoughts / depression on anyone but yourself, because that individual could say the same horrible things to another person and they wouldn't have the same response. So you have to take some accountability and realize that if you focus on being stronger and not letting it get to you, that you'll be much better off. And in that, it seems like the real blame falls on you, because the bottom line is the person with the most control over you is you and not her. So don't you think the person with the most power and control in a situation where some kind of crime or bad thing occurs should be held to the highest level of responsibility or accountability? I would assume so. Like, your mom could probably say a lot of horrible things to me and I'm not going to be suicidal. So anyway, to continue, they say, just today I asked her to take me to Walmart and offered her $15 gas money, and she told me to take that $15 and shove it because it wasn't enough. So?
It's almost as if he was looking down on this person. What's wrong with you? You're upset that a parent is abusing you? Well, that's all your fault. You should handle it more like me, a man. Pussy. Ugh. You know, this Greg guy's a total fucking douchebag. Let's take a look at more recent years in hopes that he's at least changed a little bit. (2016). Tragically, the singer Christina Grimmie was shot and killed when signing autographs for fans. Well, what the fuck does that have to do with Onision? Chill, I'm getting to that. Similar to, when any other celebrity dies, Christina Grimmie fans were really upset with this tragedy. I think you can guess by now the comforting words that the world's most honest YouTuber is going to have for these people. And right off the bat, Greg starts using this poor girl's passing for his anti-religion agenda. Christina gets shot. You all prayed for her and she died. 1, if your God cared, she would not have been shot. 2, you all prayed, she died. Wake up. He even goes on to mock her death in another tweet. You die, you die, you die, you all die. And then he goes on to give her advice. Instead of being patronizing, I'll give good advice. When going to an event with your fans, do as I always do and wear a bulletproof vest. So even when he's speaking to a deceased person, he resorts back to, you should do what I do. I'm always right. What are you, stupid for not wearing a bulletproof vest that probably wouldn't have worked anyway? These tweets are abysmal, and frankly, I think Greg should be ashamed of himself for these fucking tweets. Well, the most honest YouTuber realized he was being a shithead and apologized for it, right? No. So we can assume that to this day he still stands by these statements. He even deleted the tweets. So talking about death on social media is very similar to walking on eggshells. Some people don't even believe it's morally justifiable to talk about somebody who died in a positive light. While I don't personally agree with that, this is my morale on this topic. And Greg, I'm going to be speaking to you when I say this. I challenge you to sit at a table and imagine that a family member of the person that died is sitting at the other end of that table. So in this case, a family member of Christina Grimmie. I'll pull out those tweets and read them aloud and even try and keep eye contact with the family member. Feel uncomfortable yet? Of course you do. And that demonstrates how much of a fucking coward you are. In 2017, Greg uploaded a video on Bro, complaining that he does not make as much money on YouTube anymore. But the most controversial thing he says in this video is,
Before I decided to do YouTube, I had a gun in my head. And I was considering pulling the trigger. And now it's looking like the whole YouTube thing might be over.
So what's it sound like to you guys? It sounds like he wants to fucking kill himself, right? And Greg justified it by saying, well, I'm not suicidal because in the video I stated that I was going to sell more shirts and more music.
Now it's looking like the whole YouTube thing might be over. And fortunately, I have some money, so I can survive a little while. I don't know how long I can. I don't know, maybe I'll make more music and try to sell more albums. You know, maybe this could be a good thing.
And he also points to another video saying that he claimed that he was not suicidal in that video.
If you took that away from me when I had that gun to my head, I don't know what would happen. I don't know if I could convince myself to go on. Now I have people counting on me, so that's not a choice.
Well, my only question here is then, why the fuck did you talk about having a gun to your head in the first place? It was obvious that you were insinuating that that gun might be there again someday. You can go ahead and say, oh, I looked really happy in this one video, or I said I was going to sell more of this in the other video. You still said, before YouTube, I had a gun to my head. And you gave the camera that look. That's insinuating that that situation could occur again one day. Moving on. In the Keemstar response video, Greg claims that he is interested in suing Keemstar.
So again, if we can get to $20,000 a month on Patreon, I will begin speaking with lawyers about suing him and then pursue him legally.
So you go from almost needing to sell your car and your house to wanting to sue an individual. Do you know how expensive a lawsuit is? And it sounds like something that a small child would say. You said something about me that I don't like? Well, you better apologize or I'm gonna sue you. Well, Greg, what about those people that wanted you to sue Keemstar when you didn't hit $50,000? You complained about being called out for scamming people. And then at the end of the video, you continue to scam people. You know very well that your Patreon wasn't going to hit $50,000 a month. So again, you scammed people. Well, at this point, Greg's channel really began to take a dive. And as I stated previously, he blamed everybody but himself. Greg blamed his own channel's failure on PewDiePie and iDubbbz. How is that even a thing? I don't know. Yeah, the world's most honest YouTuber really taking responsibility on this one. Greg's point was that the whole PewDiePie adpocalypse situation resulted in everything Onision being put on a blacklist. Well, tell us this, Greg. If it's PewDiePie's fault that you don't get views anymore, then why the fuck does he still get millions of views? And also tell me what the fuck iDubbbz has to do with it. There were no Wall Street Journal articles on him. So you're telling me people at YouTube looked at PewDiePie and iDubbbz and thought, these are some bad dudes. Let's punish Onision and Greg for it. Fuck out of my face, bitch. And you also said what PewDiePie did was wrong. Well, trust me, you have no fucking room to talk. Look at any of the things I talked about today. They were all way worse and could have resulted in the same situation had you have been as big as PewDiePie. Let's get back to the present day.
When I see a smile on your hairy face.
Well, what did we learn about this Onision? Well, he's inconsistent with his uploads. He can be quite a dickhead to his own fan base. He releases too much private information about his life on YouTube. And he starts unnecessary drama with beloved YouTubers. Well, there's your answers, Greg. You've always wondered why the public eye hates you so fucking much. And here I am giving the answers to you. You're welcome. We aren't exactly finished with this video yet. It's 2018. It's a new year. I'm willing to give Greg a fresh start. Let's see if he's at least changed a little bit. Well, we've already witnessed that he is inconsistent to where he uploads his videos. So let's skip straight to number 2. And here's Greg belittling his fans as usual.
What I don't realize is that a lot of you guys don't know your butts from your heads. And that's okay, you know? A lot of us went through that phase. It's called growing up.
Number 3, releasing too much personal information. Has he stopped doing that? Nope. Here's Onision going into way too much detail about a situation when he invited a girl that was not his wife to stay at his home. Greg and his wife became under the impression that this girl became a homewrecker.
Hi there, I'm Onision, and I have something I want to talk to you guys about, something that I could have talked about months ago, but I didn't. Sam came out initially to be my camera person, and the agreement was that she would be my camera person for free. the room and board that she got, the food and shelter. I mean, the free plane tickets, etc. That was all kind of just to help her get away from her mom, who she complained about a lot. But then I, went to hug her. I believe it was good night. And I don't like being treated like I don't know what a kiss is, or an attempted kiss. When I bend down, my head is going to be level to that other person. And I did bend down to hug them, as I always did. And when I bent down right after I said, it's cool that you're happy about that, her face hit the side of my head. And she and I had hugged plenty of times up to that point. So, I know when someone tries to kiss me. And after thinking about it for a while, I literally sat on it for 2 weeks thinking, what the hell happened there? I guess what I'm saying is I'm not mad at that person. And I'm really grateful to have had an experience where I was able to grow as a person and realize what my priorities are. Anyway, so that's the full story with Onision and Sam. I am grateful for this experience because it just gave me a huge boost as far as faith in myself and knowing that I'm not like the people that I dislike the most.
Why can't a group of fucking adults handle this situation in private? Why does it need to be explained on YouTube for thousands to see? Can you at least respect the fucking girl's privacy? And it's lovely you going to say how proud of yourself you are for not doing anything with this chick. Congratulations, Greg. You did something any responsible male adult would have done in that situation. Number 4, starting unnecessary drama with beloved YouTuber.
He said they did. And also here, it wasn't that he just said the word, it was that he said it angrily. But even then, if it was just that, okay, it's not up for me to decide, whether or not that defines him as a person. And then you go to this, it's another joke, it's a prank, I get it, if it wasn't attached to everything else. So I just wanted to say, that's the reason why I'm having problems. That's why I'm having problems. I'm having problems because of this. So I have a few issues with PewDiePie. He also tweeted that my entire life was pathetic, but that was in response to something that I said to PewDiePie.
I understand that a big point of criticism for this video was going to be that a lot of this is in the past. A lot of this was so long ago. I can't possibly criticize Greggy for all of this. Well, you guys have to understand that we live in a world where you can ruin your career for saying one single word 30 years ago. And I just showcased that Greg hasn't changed very much and will continuously make the same mistakes over and over again. In this video, I just wanted to squash the issue with people not being able to explain why they can't fucking stand Onision. So if you come across anybody with this issue, just link them to this video. Fuck, I had an appointment that I missed. A doctor's appointment. Might as well go back a day. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Where am I?
Oh my gosh. I'm a banana! Oh dear. I know something is not right. Something does not feel right. Oh shit. Why does this always happen to me?
No!